In the name of the beneficent and merciful God, peace and the mercy and blessings of God be with you. Thank you for joining me for this episode today in our continuing series on 30 Days to a Better You. Right now, we're dealing with solidifying your relationships. And for today's episode, rekindling the love that you had for your parents when you were little. Now, as we grow older, sometimes, we look back at our parents and our attitudes towards them change. When we were little children, we looked up to our mom and dad as our educators. We learned everything through them. And then later on, we have other teachers. We have other sources of learning. We learn a little bit more, perhaps, and then we feel that we can be their teachers. And in some things, maybe we can inform them where they have not been so fully informed. But that can also feed into a certain degree of resentment towards our parents. We may resent them sometimes for their lack of savviness with modern technology, with things as they develop and change. And sometimes we can also develop a kind of inferiority complex where we feel that, especially if we're persons of color, or because of our practice of a particular religion that doesn't fit in so much with our modern circumstances, we may feel that part of this is due to our parents. We might resent our parents for that, especially when we ourselves are trying to fit in with our environment, and we're trying to be like up and up, and just like the people around us, adopting the culture and the lifestyle and so on. And then we see our parents still stuck in the old ways. So we might develop a certain degree of resentment for them. And it may also turn into a certain degree of embarrassment. We are embarrassed to have our parents in our presence when we're there in the presence of our friends and acquaintances. How important is it that we overcome all of this? Well, we know from the Quran that the honoring our parents is very important. The 17th chapter of the Quran, the 23rd verse, tells us, قَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. God has commanded that you have no God but Him, and that you be kind towards your parents. And then the verse continues to say, if one of them or both of them should attain old age in your presence, then you should not even say a word of contempt to them, but rather speak to them a kind word and lower before them the wings of humility in mercy, out of mercy for them, and pray, Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. My Lord, have mercy on them as they used to be kind to me when I was little. This verse of the Quran encapsulates the attitude that Muslims should have towards their parents. So let us try to cultivate that attitude. It is even mentioned in a saying attributed to our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that a man asked him, of all of the people, who is most deserving of my companionship? And, the word in Arabic is sahiba, which means something like companionship, love, and care, and so on. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, your mother. And the man asked again. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, your mother. And the man asked, well, who next? The Prophet said, your mother. And then the man asked, and who next? And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, then your father. Which emphasizes the great love and respect and charitableness that we should have towards our parents in general, but also to our mothers in particular. The Quran as well, in several passages, emphasizes the duty we have towards our parents, and in some passages to the mother in particular, seeing that she bore us through so many difficulties, and she also nursed us in the early years. So how can we develop then this quality of having that love again for our parents that we used to have for them when we were little? We remember the times we used to look up to them, and we loved them so much. So how can we rekindle that? Well, one is to perform a random act of kindness for your parents. Do something, even if it is simple. It doesn't have to cost you money. And if you don't live with your parents, sometimes just giving them a phone call will make a lot of difference. Sending them cards and letters, and emails or texts, whatever you can do to stay in touch with them and just tell them you love them, because you might say, okay, well, they know I love them. After all, they're my parents. But you have to tell them, because telling them makes them feel good, and it reminds them in case they had any doubt. Do some act of charity for your parents, even if they have passed away. Do some act of charity in their name, so that they will derive the blessings for that in the life hereafter. And be good to the people that they would have been good to. Be good to the family and friends of your parents as a way of saying, okay, even if my parents are not here, but I'm still honoring the people who are close to them or were close to them, as a way of honoring my parents as well. So I pray that we will all develop this quality of rekindling that love that we had for our parents when we were little. So this was part of our series on 30 Days to a Better You, under the subtopic of rekindling or solidifying your relationships. Today we dealt with rekindling that love that you had for your parents when you were little. Tomorrow we will deal with recapturing that love that you had for your spouse on the day that you got married. So please be sure to join me tomorrow for this continuing series. Thank you for watching today. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
If you enjoyed this video, then please support us this Ramadan. Here are 3 ways. Thank you, and may God bless you and your loved ones today and always.